There was a few tweets from people in Chiefs Kingdom, kind of the guys who break down videos and stuff, and always talk about plays, and I love the content, but sometimes these people with their content, they kind of get a little too carried away with certain plays they watch, and they kind of just go overblown with their takes and kind of overreactionary takes, I would say. But the one clip and one kind of take it's kind of carried away this week is Nick Bolton regressing. They say Nick Bolton's kind of regressed this season, and I thought it was kind of crazy when I saw that. But have you? There's a few different people. I think Zach Kaizen was the one guy who said a clip, who put a clip out talking about his regression, and then a bunch of other people kind of carried on with that as well. So, based on what you've seen about Nick Bolton, have you seen a regression?
Not personally, no. I mean, I think he's as stellar as always. I mean, but he had 13 tackles last game. 9 solo. Is that regression? That I don't know. I don't know what I tell you. I mean, for real. So I think you check me on my stats, but I know that Joker was all over the field making plays. If anything, if he's the one making all those tackles, then you need to talk to the D line. That's one you need to address. But here we talking about maybe what 3 weeks removed from being defensive player of the week. So that's regressing. I don't know. I don't get that. I don't get that part of it. So what I've seen and what he had to deal with, if anybody has been as solid as anybody on the defensive side of the ball, it's been him. I mean, he's a tackling machine. That's what he does. He's a guy who's a leader. He's all over the field. He's making plays. He's always making plays. And so sometimes when when you're going against, teams that are pass happy, he's got to do some more of the coverage, right? But when you talk about sideline to sideline, Nick he's right there. He is right there. I wouldn't say he's the biggest of guys, but he plays big. I mean, he's all over the place. And so I don't know. Maybe that's people's opinion. Mine is different. And I'm looking at if I'm sitting over here offensively and I'm checking about who's your guys, your studs on the defensive side of the ball, Kansas City, that guy in the middle, we need to stop. He's going to be all over the field. He's going to be making tackles. So we got to make sure we get a hat on him to the second level. We got to make sure we get him, okay? Because he's the anchor of the defense. Chris Jones is also in the middle, but hey, when everything goes to that second level, Nick Bolton, he's going to be right there on the tackle. He's going to be all over the place. So, you know what? Sometimes I think, and this is what we got to be careful in doing. All right, let's just be honest here. Is when you suffer a loss, it's like people trying to find things to blame. It's like it's always trying to find something like, hey, well, this wasn't right, or this wasn't right, and this. Okay, you could find 1 or 2 plays and magnify that to say this was not, his best play, or he's, regressing and all. No, man, I just don't buy that at all. I don't. And like I said, if I see somebody all over the field, man, it's Nick Bolton. I do. But like I said, if it's something that like if we're getting gassed in the middle, the job of the defensive tackles to make sure that those linemen and whatnot don't get it on him. They don't get to the second level. And so if they get to the second level and they're kind of muddling, it up for him to see what lanes to run through and how to get around, then we need better D-line play. Let's just call it what it is. Mm-hmm. That's the reality of it. It all starts up front. It all starts in the trenches. And somebody who's sitting there saying that doesn't understand that right there, it has to be D-line play to stop the run. You got to take 2. You got to be in the gap. All these things is technique, is discipline. All those things have to happen. Guys got to play at a high level. Okay. You want your linebackers to run free and start making plays, you got to win up front. Mm-hmm. Period. So I haven't seen anything like that. So I'll look back over the film, but what I see in my eyes, Nick Bolton's still making plays. Period. Bottom line. So,
yeah, I'm trying to find the tweet. Yeah, Zach Eisen was the person. And he said Chiefs fans are going to be mad at this, but Nick Bolton has taken a step back this year. Was a tweet followed by clips of him, getting pushed back in the Buffalo Bills game, for example. I mean, I've seen that, but
13 for 9, 3 weeks removed from being defensive player of the week. Aggressive?
He's third in the league. He's third in the league in solo tackles too, as well.
Third in the league, really? In the entire NFL?
Okay, he's tied for second with 3 other people.
Oh, it's even better. Okay, tied for second. Well, shoot. And he's regressing? No, man. I do know that's a silly comment. I do know that. That's silly.
Yeah.
13 for, hold on. I think I put 13 for 9. I think I looked at in my notes.
Yeah,
13.
He had 9 solo on Sunday.
9 solo. By himself. That's what solo means, right?
Yep.
I'm just okay.
Yep.
I'm just making sure I understand, English language is how this thing is, man. It's like sometimes, man, it's misguided, feel of like wanting to be upset about certain things. Like I see how that, like when this kind of comes out, it's like nitpicky on things. And they're saying it, and it's like, okay, we got a loss here. We were 4-2. Could easily be, like they said, a couple field goals away, and stop the Bills and get the ball at the end. We 6-0. We 6-0.
Yeah.
But hey, man, let's nitpick everybody. Somebody's regressing. Somebody ain't good enough. All right, let's just be truthful and let's see things for what they are. All right. I don't know. Nick Bolton is still playing at a high level to me. Okay. So I'll watch him this Sunday. I'm gonna go back and watch him the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
Please do it, and please say something, because I feel like it's the negative, and not like anything. It's the negative that gets propped up from people, and I think people think also by saying negative comments, the negative comments are the ones that are going to get you more retweets, more likes. Like, oh, I think so and so's. It's like having a crazy take. Like, oh, really? You think Nick Bolton's taking a step back this year? Well, why is that? He had 9 tackles last week. How is he taking a step back? Well, here's a play here where he gets driven back a few yards.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's just be selective on what plays we want to put out there. I guarantee every single play, guys are going to win and lose in the NFL. It's just that's how it works. Guys are going to win or lose in the NFL. I guarantee you, watch any guy, every single snap, he's going to take an L on one of those snaps, or 2 of those, or several of those snaps. Okay, I just know that sucker had 9 solo tackles. That's not regression. Okay, that isn't. So,
yeah, I mean, if you look at his numbers, we say he's tied for second in the league, but 9 solo against Buffalo, 7 against Vegas, 6 against Tampa. He had 6 solo against Indianapolis on top of 2 sacks in that game. 2 sacks from a middle linebacker.
That was the defensive player of the week. That's when he was there for that. Yeah, I remember that week.
Yeah, and I'm sure that person was tweeting great things about Nick Bolton then, and then 2 weeks later, he's really regressed. It's like, okay.
Oh, it's his fault. Oh, okay. It's his fault. He's regressing. Really?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Hey, man. Everybody got their opinion.
Yeah.
That's mine. I'm spouting mine. Mine. I know when I'm sitting over here and I'm stopping guys and I'm putting in my game plan, I'm watching out for that guy. I know who is tied for second in the league for tackles, right? Solo tackles. I know that. I guarantee if you don't get on this guy, what he's going to do. So, it's funny. I'm going to say that I'd never forget this. We were playing Chicago Bears, okay? And Brian Urlacher was a linebacker. He was kind of years, and the coach came in. Oh man, he don't have it anymore. He regressed and all of this, and he just doesn't run like he used to. That sucker had like 25 tackles, 6 sacks. I mean, obviously, but he was all over the field. I'm talking about you can hear the hits. I'm like, man, is this, you were talking about him? This guy right here was the one that you said lost a step, can't run sideline to sideline. Everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. It was a lie. Man.
What year was that? 03?
I don't know. I don't know what year it was. I'm not sure, but I know what it was. That sucker was all over the field. Like he was hitting the water boy, the cheerleaders, everybody. Everything that was moving out there, he was hitting. He was hitting. So I remember that. I was like, that's a lie. I don't know where you got your scouting report at, but daggone it, he must have heard it or something like that. But that was he was all over the field.
I looked. I found a Chiefs Bears 03.
Mm-hmm.
He had 7 tackles and a sack that game. 7 solo tackles and a sack that game. And then you guys played him again. I believe your last year there, 07.
Yeah, it might have been it.
Yeah, that's he had, and yeah, he was definitely older in his career. He had 9 total tackles, 8 solo tackles, and a sack that game.
It's like all over the field. I'm trying to tell you, this sucker look like he made every tackle. I'm literally, older now. No, he can't run like shit. All right, don't tell him that. He don't know that. he didn't get that memo.
That's funny. Well, it's too like if you look at Gay and so now we have Gay back. Gay and Bolton are 2 guys that are always all over the field. Like they're literally in on every tackle. Like, who made that tackle? You see the spot underneath them. It's like, it's either 50 or 32 every time.
Right, sideline to sideline, man. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just feel like sometimes after a loss, people want to point out negatives. So they look for something that might be obscure that you may not hear a lot. Like, oh, right. He's bad.
No doubt. Yeah, right, no doubt. No doubt that's going on. So, bringing supposedly attention to, a non-issue or the factor. I just, whatever, man.
Non-issue for sure. And the only, I think the one thing we talked about the post-game show is that the one issue is like, we need to find a new kick return because we're not getting enough out of that kick return spot. Maybe get more touchbacks or find someone that can run that position. And I've heard kind of a radio silence on that issue. And I think that's
crickets.
Yeah, and that's more of an issue than Nick Bolton regressing.
Right, and the reason that is because it's not sexy. It's not a sexy part of football.
Mm-hmm.
They won't talk about the return game, which is so important for field position.
Mm-hmm.
Field position.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they're taught to run it out of the end zone. And remember, we talked about this during the preseason. I'm like, well, why do you keep running out of the end zone? Oh, they're taught that and they're just getting them ready. You're teaching them bad habits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's come back and we see it. I've said that. Okay. Hello, special teams coach here. Play special teams. You teaching bad habits.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good. No bueno. It's no good. And so all of a sudden you start seeing somebody who doesn't have any wiggle back there, right? I don't mind talking about that.
Yeah.
That's not Pacheco's strong suit. It's not Sky Moore's strong suit.
Mm-hmm.
But Cole Hardman, that's a strong suit. He has a much better strong suit, doing those things like that. I'd rather put him back there, him up a punt or something like that, as opposed to guys who are not getting no yards and putting him in a bad position.
Yeah.
Patrick shouldn't have to drive 80 yards down the field each and every play. He shouldn't have to do it every series. He shouldn't.
Yeah.
At the touchdown. Or even go 90. We had to go 90 sometimes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how much psychologically what that puts on the offense? Dude, believe me.
Yeah,
that's tough. That's tough. Yeah. I'm like, man, do your job. How about that? How about we get some field goal or some yardage?
Yeah,
we get some. Yeah,
make life easier for our offense.
Yeah, make it easier, right? Get on the short field. Heck, get to the 40, man. You only get 60 yards to go, man. You know how much we've set up? Oh, 60 yards? Oh,
yeah,
absolutely. Matter of fact, we only need really not the 60. Shoot, just to get you about 20 or 30, so we can kick it.
Yeah.
Now you're in position to kick a field goal.
Yeah.
Right. So we got strong leg. Mr. Strong Leg's back.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Baby steps, JD. Just take touchbacks. we'll drive 75 yards instead of driving 90 yards.
Right. Hey, man. Like that. Done. It's in end zone. Let it go. Yeah, but that's not talked about enough, and it was so glaring with the coach. They was talking about just like the field goals that he missed, but it wasn't about the returns. Like the whole aspect of like a football game is the three aspects that got to work together.
Mm-hmm.
Got to work in one accord: offense, defense, and special teams.
Mm-hmm.
That's your three phases of the game that has to be on point all the time, and you can't miss out on one and feel like the other one's supposed to make that up. That's not fair. It's not fair for the other team to be doing things like that. It's not.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the Colts game, it was highlighted, like, the special teams blunders, the muff punt, the missed kicks, the go for on fourth down, but like the return game, it's something, it's not being talked about at all.
It was happening 2 or 3 weeks ago. Nobody said nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing about it. So,
and we got called out for even pointing it out during the preseason. Oh, they're told to do that. Okay, so what? Like that. So that's the issue then. No, it's not Pacheco's fault. He's being told that, but maybe it's right. Let's highlight the special teams coach.
Maybe we shouldn't be telling them to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't be teaching them bad habits. Maybe we shouldn't be doing that.
Mm-mm.
I get, at the end of the half, and it's still this knowing, where you are. Mm. Okay. Yeah. If you got to, some seconds at the end of the half or something, you're trying to get some yards, maybe make a play. I get that part. I get that. But if it's not, and you just, no. Oh my gosh. That right there, that pisses me off. Every time I'm sitting, I'm just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Shoot. I know as an offense, we go out, we want field position.
Yeah.
What's going on? Like, hey, man, hey, Tobes, what's happening? We want field position, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, rest his arm every once in a while.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, and I wonder if Patrick's ever gone up to him and said, like, "Yo, like, just let them kneel the ball in the end zone. Like, we don't need a freaking returnist."
I promise you that it's been eye rolls and oh my gosh, I promise you that.
Like, here we go again type shit.
Absolutely, I guarantee that. I have no doubt about. Believe me, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, someone's got to give it. And two, I think two's been a good coach. I think maybe this whole like take it out of the end zone. I feel like maybe it's been a tube rule his whole career. But like, dude, you don't have Devin because he used to be the Chicago Bears special teams coach. You don't have Devin Hester. You don't have Tyreek Hill.
Right.
You don't have those guys back there, dude.
Right.
It's a big difference. We have guys who aren't kick returning for us. You don't have them take it out of the end zone.
Now, if you have a guy, okay, who's on the practice squad and still Ely, right? Ely's a guy he's got that little wiggle room, but he's not the 53 man. He's not moved up. He got that ability. So other than that,
yeah.
Hey.
It should be rules by your personnel, not a full-on flat rule, but based on your personnel, you either let it go or you return it because I think you can take it to the house. But if you're a guy who's really hasn't really shown much wiggle or east-west movement, let's take it. Let's take it to 25. That's right. Good. That's good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hopefully we won't have to deal with that anymore. Hopefully there's no more of this. Maybe after this game, maybe it's a wake-up call in the special teams room. I don't know. Hopefully we don't have to address this again. But if it does, I hope we get some videos and BS tweets on that because that's an issue. Whereas we're talking about Nick Bolton regressing, which is nonsense.
Right. You got to do something. But I get that sometimes guys got to earn their they're living. They got to earn. It's like, oh well, we got to put this guy here, right? We got to justify why we have him up here playing.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
That's a reality too. So.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get podcasts.